Today I'm going to be reviewing this Tahilia pull-out faucet that was recently sent to me by the brand. Now it did have some straps on it that I went ahead and took off. This is what it's going to look like inside. Obviously going to come with your basic instructions for how to use or put it on. And then this is going to be the part that is designed to fit inside of the top. So it is going to come with, require a little bit of assembly on your part. Obviously this is going to be the part that connects up. So this part is going to screw in onto here. I do want to give you the measurements on this, so I figured it'd be easiest to do it this way. This part is going to typically run down inside of there. Again, just kind of weird that it's not going to be fully assembled on this part, right? So let me see if this is supposed to unscrew. Don't see it doing it that way. This is obviously going to go, maybe that, okay, that part goes onto here, but there should be a hose that runs inside of there. So that's interesting. This doesn't already come connected. Then that part is going to come, looks like, let me pop this off, I think. Yeah, it just kind of goes right through here. So it's just kind of weird that you have to kind of feed it on your own down into there. And yeah, so that just kind of feeds right through there. And then the same thing on this part. It just kind of feeds right through there. So you do have to do just a little bit of the work yourself. Again, kind of odd that you have to do that. Not the end of the world, but just different for sure. And this is going to then screw on to here. Now you will want to make sure to use this little rubber washer that it comes with. So put that onto here when installing this and screwing this together. So you're just need to put that in here. Now this is going to be a plastic insert on this metal, so I'm not a fan of that either. Definitely would have preferred that they were either both plastic or both metal. One plastic, one metal is almost always a recipe for a leak over the long term. So definitely do prefer they wouldn't have done it that way. And this is going to then sit inside of there like so. Now there is no magnet or anything that holds that in. It's just this little plastic piece that goes right into there. So again, long term, this is going to start to fall off. Definitely a downside to that. And then you've got this little guy. This is just going to go right up here in the top if you choose to swap that out. So that's that. And this should be the weight for the hose, I'm guessing. And yes, so this is going to be your weight for the hose and then also your connections. So essentially this is going to connect down here into the bottom. This is going to go right up in here like that, just clips into place. This is going to then pull out by pushing it on those sides. And then this is going to go on to the portion, the hose itself. So this should slide right through there, I believe, unless it needs to unclip, which is possible. Yep, just needs to unclip a little bit. Just enough. Yeah, can't quite get it there. But essentially, you're just going to put this on, and then the weight of this hangs down at the bottom of that thing to be able to move it in or out onto that part. So just kind of, you got to kind of squeeze. Probably need to get a pair of pliers, a little screwdriver, push down on that just a little bit to be able to get that to go in all of the way through that little thing there, because that just kind of goes right into there. Yeah, so I'm struggling to do it with here, even with two hands. So you definitely would need a tool to like pry this apart to get that hose to go all the way through. But then this is just going to sit down at the bottom. Now let me give you a measurement on this. So handle to handle, you got about 10 inches. The actual base itself is going to be about 6.5. Then this part is designed to come up. So from the part that sits there to the back, that's going to be 5 inches. And then it's going to give you an incline. So probably going to be about 9 inches, I would say, to the top of this, because you can see this is how this is designed. And then from here out to there, obviously it pulls out, you're going to be about 9 3/4 inches on there. So definitely a little bit of assembly required, not too terribly difficult, just kind of odd that it does require you to actually run the hose through versus most of them that will traditionally already have that hose run through.